Today I want to talk about the supplies and stuff you need to start your own nail salon or start doing nails on yourself, or whether you're looking for an upgrade. It's all in this. I want to talk about equipment you need, tools you need, handy supplies, everything. So let's jump right in and start with the tool I use the most, and that is this e-file. This is the Marathon 3. I like it. I would recommend it. It's a great tool. It has the power you need. It's fine to work with. The vibration is not too much. It's easy on clients. So this is the handle. I use different tools with it. Let me show you which ones I use the most. These are some removal bits. What they do is the same. I mean, they just have to remove the old product. This one is my mostly used one. It has a blue band, so it's in between. It's the normal one. Not too soft, not too coarse. This one is fine to use. If you are a beginner or scared or have a very thin layer of only gel polish, I would recommend getting a removal bit with a red band. If you have a very hard product or just experience and you really like to take off product quicker, then you could also use a green band. But this one is more coarse and it's easier to damage the nail plate with it. So my go-to is blue or green. These ones are green. They all do the same things. Very handy. It's just a matter of what you like. Then for the manicure, these are my standard ones. I often use the blue one, but the red one is for like normal cuticles. This one is for more hardened, a bit more difficult cuticle. So this is my favorite preferred shape. You also have these. Most people tend to work with these shapes. That's also fine. There's not much of a difference. They do the same thing, except they're shaped differently. So it's a matter of your own preference. After the step with this one, I use one of these. So these are my two main tools for a clean manicure. And then I use one more type of nail bit. These ones. And these ones are to shape the C-curves better, thinning out the free edge, and to clean the natural nail, or to take away the natural nail under the free edge, under the product, so that you won't get as much of lifted product on there. So this one I use with natural nails, a bit shorter. This one I use for long nails. Very handy, needed actually. You can also, of course, clean up the natural nail under there with this one or another one of the removal bits, but it's bigger. So I prefer having a small bit just to really be precise and not hurt the client or myself. So that was it for the e-file and the bits. There's one optional bit that you could use. It's this one. This is a silicone polishing bit. You can use this for the skin to go around there and really polish the skin out, giving it a nice finish. Next up is something that's very important. I will take it. It's this device. This is a dust collector. Please use one if you're removing nails, doing a manicure, shaping the nails or whatever. There's so much dust coming with nails. It's really bad for your health if you inhale it too much. The dust goes everywhere, so only for that you want to use this. A towel is just really not enough. And please, if you have the option for it, please invest in a great, good dust collector. I myself, I can speak from my own experience. I had a dust collector that was just not good enough. I have two actually laying around, and to be honest, I could feel it in my lungs when I had a day of clients and just didn't use a proper dust collection. I was feeling sick, I was coughing, and at first I was like, well, maybe I'm getting sick, but after a while I noticed that I kept having the same issue after a full day of clients. So please invest in it. Use it. It's a really handy device. It saves you on cleanup as well because the dust gets everywhere. So dust collectors also need it. Now I want to talk about tools. There's many different types of tools. I just use a standard set of it for every treatment I do. Let's start off with my file. I use a hygienic file. This is a base. It's just a plastic little thing. And these are loose strips. You can get them in 100, but I always use 180 because it's coarse enough to take away the product, but it's not too coarse so that you will damage the natural nail. So if I can give my opinion, I would always use this. It's a sticker, tacky side, and you can, when you're ready to use it, just stick it on there and you're done. After one treatment, one client, tear it off, throw it away. For the next client, you have a new file, which is perfect because it's just the same sharpness every time and it's hygienic, so it really ups your quality level as a salon. If you only do nails on yourself, I can imagine you don't want to use this. You can, of course, use the normal files. So this is also fine, I just don't use it in the salon. If I work on myself, I do have one laying around mostly. Then I would talk about a buffer. It says this, and it is this, but it's not as coarse as this. This is meant for taking away the scratches in the surface. It's a softer, as you can see, it's a softer product. It's a bit squishy. You can take off the scratches so that you get a nice smooth finish. And also if you have product on there but you don't feel like filing too hard, use this. This will just take away a bit of product and not like a lot. Then let's talk about this little stick here. This is just a wood stick. You throw this away after one client. It's a single use one. This side I use to lift the cuticle for the manicure. This side I use to take away product that I have spilled on the skin, for example, or maybe a bit of gel polish, you know. So this is for that. You can also use this to apply stones. I use this also in combination with this wipe, which is also recommended, a thin wipe, like this, and then clean up. I will explain that in a later video. This is really just a handy tool and you just throw it away after a singular use. Then I have a scissor, a cuticle scissor. I don't really like to cut the cuticles very far. I must say that. I know some people hate it altogether. If you use this properly, it's not damaging. I don't often use it to cut a lot of cuticle. I do have sometimes after the manicure, like those little sticking out parts. I cut those away because they will really hinder me in the application, and then you have a chance of the product lifting. Then I have a dust brush, of course, use it for everything dust related. 2 wipes, I have these types of wipes for cleaning my brush, but this one I really recommend. This one is really nice to have laying around, especially if you use polygel. Then I have this little spray bottle. It's almost empty, but there's alcohol in this one, 70%. You can also use 80%, but I just use 70%. You can use it for the polygel as well to apply it as the solution for that. You can use it to take off the tacky layer. You can use it to clean the nail plates, so just have a bottle of it around. I like these little spray things. They're very easy to work with. Use nitrile gloves when you're working. It's hygienic, it keeps you safe because we are working with chemicals, and working with chemicals can mean not only damage but also allergies. Just work with gloves for your own health. Here are my brushes I mostly use. If I work with polygel, I use this one, but you can use any brush you want for that actually. It's just a matter of preference. This is my brush I use for my base coat. Base coat often comes in bottles, I know that. I don't like the brushes that come with it. They're like too thin, too flexible. So I really always put my base coat in a little jar. And then I apply it with this brush. I will explain in a later video why I do that. I would recommend you to start doing that as well, so stay tuned for that. But this is my base coat brush. It's been butched up, but I love it. Then I have my gel pencil, my gel brush. It's just a really small one. This is a size 4. I really like using this one. It's not too big, not too small. You can also use a gel pencil for polygel if you like that more, but don't combine them because the gel pencil will be sticky. As you can see, there's still a bit of product coming out of that. And for your polygel, you really want a brush that's not sticky. Then I have a fine liner for my Biap gel application. This is a 10 millimeter, oh no, 9 millimeter, but you can also use 10, 7, 13, what you like. Then I have this little brush. It's a bit thicker than my fine liner, as you can see. This one I use for gel polish application. You can use a fine liner, I just think they are not sturdy enough. Then we are into application products. Let me see, different brands, different application products. This brand, for example, has a prep and a bond, and then the base coat I put in a little jar. There's another brand I use that has a bond and a base coat in a jar. And then there's another brand I have that has, again, 3 products, bond, primer, dehydrator and a base. It's just whatever brand you use, whatever product they use. Check that with your brand. I would recommend using the same products as within that brand for the base. If you don't go with this prep and bond and then this base, you can experiment with prep, bond, base and then a different building product, but keep the basics together. This bond, this base, don't mix that up in between. Then we have like the true applications. I have a builder gel. This one I've mixed myself. I will also make a video of that, by the way, because it's very interesting and fun to do. I have just a regular builder gel, for example. I have this one, which is a bit different in consistency. Then I have a Biap. Very pretty color. Then there's this one. This is more like a rubber base. Very runny consistency. And then, for example, there's also this brand. And this is like more of a gel, a hard gel in a bottle. Very different products, different types. Just use whatever you want. If you use polygel, that's a whole different thing. They often come in like these tubes, different colors, sizes, styles. I broke one tube of mine, so one tube is in here. Then we have top coats. Very different styles, brands, types. I always use no wipe. No wipe top coats are harder. If you use a flexible product and your nail will bend, it will break, it will crack. So I always use a hard product under my gel polish applications or just over my nails. So for me, no wipe is no problem at all. I have this one. Very pretty. Also a different style of top coat. And then I here have 2 normal ones. There's a different consistency in it. This one is quite runny, I must say. This one is a bit thicker. I also have this one, which is like even more thicker. So it is just personal preference. And then there's one thing left, and that's the bigger tools. I have this UV light with a mirror plate. You don't have to get one with a mirror plate, but it's handy since it just reflects the light. So your nails will harden out perfectly. It has a display with a timer. And on the back it has a soft function, 90 seconds, 60 seconds, 30 seconds. So different lamps come with different specs. I would really recommend getting 2 lamps. I have 2 lamps myself as well. But if you don't have the budget for 2 lamps, get one with good quality, because it's very important that your product hardens out, okay? So just please don't cheap out on the lights. Since we're working with chemicals, we want the product to harden. We don't want any problems with it. Get a good one. If you have the budget, please go with 2. Much easier than 1 and keeping to switch. My armrest is this thing from IKEA. It's just very simple, but it is still comfortable. Now I just want to show you one more thing. I have these lamps. One on the left, one on the right. It's the Tertial from IKEA with a daylight bulb. I will put the specs in the description down below. These are very easily adjustable and just really give a good light. So put them like this and you can really see what you're doing. Those were all my basics. Of course, I have lots of more things to tell. I will get into that in a later video, in like specifications, applications, techniques, theoretical information. For now, I just really want to thank you for watching. Lots is more to come. I have many ideas. So if you have suggestions, questions, problems or whatever, let me know. I will gladly help you with them. And yeah, well, I hope to see you next time. So have a great day and bye.